Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Dungeon Raid. Today we're going to be doing another one of the main storyline dungeons, and we're going to be doing Brayflox, Longstop. This is about halfway through the main storyline, and it is one of the first dungeons to have another set of gear that you can wear that is a unique set. And this one actually has 3 unique sets instead of the original 2 like in the first couple dungeons. And this set is unique to this dungeon, so if you really like the look, you'll have to run it a few times. So, without any further ado, let me introduce the party today. I have with me once again Mia Shah.
Hello.
I have Isomi Terrafant.
Hello.
And joining us today is Cade Farsight.
Hello.
Alright, so Isomi is going to be tanking for us once again. Mia is going to be our bard for the day, and Cade is going to be on Scholar. Mixie is not joining us today. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe she slept in, but alright, let's get started, shall we?
Yep.
Dungeon Raid! Feel free to edit that out.
No, sorry.
It's on the internet
And
now
away
forever.
we go. Or at least as long as YouTube is active. Now, the start of this mission is you're needed to get some cheese. Seriously, the whole point of this dungeon is you need cheese.
Very special cheese.
Yes. Notice something about this dungeon that, unlike the prior story ones, you're actually going to have your first mini boss fairly close to when you enter. Also, one of the things that you have to be worried about, not so much worried, but be aware of in this dungeon, there are special NPCs you're going to have to save that spawn as you go, and that's actually how you're going to have about half of your coffers.
This pop sort of. Here's some shield.
Alright.
Okay.
So, without any
Now,
further ado,
oh no,
let's
big
move ahead.
dragon! We're gonna have to. No, he'll fly away. And then we never see him again. Never see him again.
So what we do is we pull these first ones here.
Since we have a new one in the group, I should probably be marking it even if we only have 2. You know, how you been liking Pugilist?
It's interesting. It's not my overall favorite class, but
No,
it's definitely a lot more improved over the original.
yeah, I know it's quite a bit different from, a lot more dynamic than it was with all the stance shifts and stuff. There we go.
Okay, now what's going to happen is if you go over this way, that'll take you right towards the first boss area, but
Need the key.
you can't get in there without a key. The key is over that direction, so it's usually better to cross the path here and get the key before you continue on. Now, for all you 11 veterans, yes, there are colibri. No, they will not steal your lunch.
I'm sorry, that was the most messed up thing ever. It's like, they stole the food that you've already eaten.
Just don't ask how.
Depictions on DeviantArt, that theorize how that might happen.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
No, there was, Fred Perry's Level Up
Yeah.
comic had the thing giving a big French kiss.
Tongue again. Yeah, no. I think that was the most PG-13. That was the least R-rated interpretation too. Most of them are just horrible. I mean, conceptually, it was just such a horrible ability.
never really understood why they made them do that. I'm so glad they changed it.
Like, I take
Yeah,
and
if I
Final
understand
Fantasy
them-
11, and then I fought Colibris, now I'm bulimic.
I remember from some of the lore, though, the colibris here were created through some kind of experimentation.
Yeah, I don't know if this is Colibri, but I do know that the little dragonets were from give me the key. Dragonets were from
the guy.
The dragonets were from experimentation. About half to 3/4 of the monsters in at Urken were from their own experimentation. So basically, most of their problems that at Urken had were because of at Urken. If at Urken hadn't been there, at Urken wouldn't have any problems.
Well, true. I do remember the in Costa del Sol in this version, there is a quest line where he wants you to get back his colibri because he helped create them through some kind of experimentation with.
He created them? I thought he just imported them.
No, something about selective breeding with some kind of medicines that he created.
Oh. I thought it was maybe just like a specific breed of colibri or something.
It's possible.
I mean, I don't think there's anything in the game so far that quite has managed Adderkin, Blue Mage levels of playing God yet.
Yet.
Well, the Garlean Empire playing
Enough
God.
said.
Yeah, but they do it with machinery. They don't do it with bioweapons.
Allegon Empire.
That's quite possible. But I mean, creating an entire tribe of sentient beastmen.
I'm just glad the goblins are on our side this time.
Well, somewhat.
For the
You still,
most
you
part.
still have ones. You still have ones that
Somewhat.
aren't. So.
Well, that's the thing, though. I think the portrayal of the goblins in this is true to what SE originally intended, and that they're kind of, opportunists.
Yeah.
if the Ferengi of Final Fantasy.
Well, they kind of talk like them, don't they?
Well, I can see, the goblins and the Kakirin, since they kind of, though the goblins are less about stealing and more about trading, so I
Okay.
can see those two not getting along very well.
Alrighty, our first boss fight right here.
Alright, as you can see behind here, he's got 3 little ads. You need to take down the ads right away, and periodically he'll summon new ones. The ads must take priority because they have a high damage output, whereas the boss does not. So whenever you see ads have to go down first. That is your absolute priority.
And beware, they all have their conal AoEs. So if the tank gets caught in the middle of a bunch of them, you're going to lose your tank.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that because I am the tank. Okay, we ready to go?
Yep.
Here we go.
Ready, steady, go. Also, as you'll notice, the ads, while they have high damage, don't have a lot of health, so they'll go down fairly quickly.
One thing that for all you tanks out there, notice I spam flash a lot just to keep the ads in line. It's not gonna hold on to something that is being actively beaten up. But it's basically just to overcome the heal aggro that the healer is getting, because otherwise they're going to go off and beat your healer. But one of the things you need to keep in mind is keep an eye on your MP. Splash eats MP, especially at later levels, and because the MP cost of it actually goes up, and it will you can quite easily run out.
Here's our first aggro.
There's the
So
ads.
you have a nifty ability here called Riot Blade that will allow you to regain MP, and you should use it occasionally.
Yeah, something that may not have been shown on someone else's screen, but these ads their breath attack is a sleep ability.
Another thing is when you got a group like this, like conical AOEs, try and keep them all pointed in one direction or the other, basically at 90-degree angle to your party. That way you can go back and forth as needed, and they're never going to point towards your healers or your mages, and it avoids nastiness. The luck is Ziz. Hi, Ziz. Sorry, I think I got my orientation messed up here.
Yeah, so pretty much as long as your party is paying attention, this isn't a hard fight.
No, this is sort of just to sort of give you an idea.
Oh, more ads. Now, you'll notice that the main boss is starting to get a bit low. So, what you can do in certain situations is if the boss is really low, you can ignore ads and take down the boss right away.
Because once the boss is down, all the ads are dead too. But in this case, it's probably worth saving the limit break.
Oh yeah. There will be a critter later on that the limit break will be very useful for.
See, those other two ads that just popped up at the end there immediately disappeared. I will greet that.
And
Now,
lending.
we have a goblin here. This is the start of the goblin area. When the goblins show up here, you have to keep them safe. Otherwise, if they die, you do not get their coffer. So there's specific areas which we will show you where the goblins themselves are. Your tank needs to run up and flash immediately to pull hate off of the goblin, because the goblins have very little health. They'll only be able to take 2, maybe 3 hits.
Yeah.
The thing is though, most of the goblin fights won't actually begin until you get within a certain range, and then the critters will start fighting them. There is one exception. There is where it's actually very easy to trigger the fight without realizing it, because the fight will actually be above you.
Yeah, it's you're at the bottom of the cliff and it's at the top of the cliff, and if you get too close, you can set it off. When you get there and you find there's a bunch of mobs up there in a gobby corpse, and you're like, oops. Okay, so we're ready to go.
Yep. And that's actually one of your one of your blue coffers. So
yeah, so you don't want to lose that one.
And don't worry, we'll show you where they all are in this run. So
hopefully we don't mess it up like we have in the past.
Shh, don't tell them that.
Oh, we don't make mistakes, right, YouTube? Right. We're perfect. We are elite gamers.
Alright. As you can see there, that's where the goblin drops the chest.
And that one gives you 2 pieces. Yay.
Now, the next 2 pulls here, you don't have to worry about goblins, but it's after that we have to start worrying about them again.
And in case of emergencies, you can actually heal them.
you just have to make sure you get to them before they take too much damage.
Yeah, once again, they can only survive 2, maybe 3 shots at most.
Okay. So we got an asteroid, a couple comet chasers.
Now, what you do not want to do is on your left side, do not pull anything to the left, because as you can see on the corner of my screen here, there's a goblin down there. You pull the mobs in front of us to the left, and you might accidentally trigger that goblin fight. Now, one of the things you should know as well about those AoE cones that you see on the ground, you don't have to stay out of them for the duration of the animation, but as long as that red is there, you move, and as soon as it goes away, you can move back.
Oh, what the heck? Where are you going?
Well, it just wanted to say hi to the healer.
Yeah, I prefer
Here's
if you
that
did.
nom nom nom.
Hey,
Oh, I do
see,
taste good.
I didn't take hit there because I went back after the cone. Before the animated started, but after the red cone was gone, so the fun thing of being immune to flamethrowers. Okay, so where do we want to go next?
Let's start on the right.
Right here, Izzy. You have Lugabi to play with down here.
Now let's go to this one up here first.
Alrighty.
Okay, you don't want to go past the house until you're ready. And then once you're ready, tank charges in and go.
Okay, ready?
Go.
Hand landing.
Like I said, for some of these locations, it's actually very easy to trigger the fight too early.
One thing you also have to keep in mind is that little goblin, he is going to be poking one of these guys with his knife. So if he's attacking a different one from you, and you're not keeping your flash up, then yeah, he can pull it off and get murdered anyway.
Yeah, because a few of these goblins actually have fairly high hate gain.
And there is one boss fight where that comes into play. They have high hate gain and low self-preservation instinct.
Kind of like some DPS you'll encounter in the game.
Are you saying something about my ability to do
Not
damage?
yours at all, actually. Just some of the people I've run with.
Yeah. You end up with some people who do crazy, crazy things. Hey, it's just... Yay, 10 pieces. Ooh.
You don't start seeing bronze pieces till some of the later dungeons.
Okay, now, what you do is that bridge that's in front of me here, don't cross that yet. You want to go down towards this one.
Not yet. That'll be Pathfinder. It looks fine, right? There's no problems. You run in, and... Oh! Plot twist!
Now, if you're starting to think, oh, yay, dragons, don't worry. This is not the only dungeon with dragons. There'll be plenty more.
Oh, yes. In a later dungeon, you'll definitely have your complete fill of dragons.
Not to mention the people that live in that area.
Stone Vigil.
Foreshadowing.
Alright, so the goblin gives us a chest. Now, I'm going to move my camera angle. You can barely see the little goblin name.
It's up there.
It's kind of flickering up there.
That's one of the easy ones to set off early and accidentally get him murdered.
Yeah, because if you actually run underneath that overhang, it'll trigger. And yeah. I've been on a run where we ran under it, then basically ran up top there, and the goblin was already gone. That particular coffer is a blue coffer.
Of course, we would never do that. That would never.
Never. We've never made that mistake.
Ever. Okay.
At least not on camera. Yeah,
right.
So he's already being attacked.
Go.
Go.
Yeah, as you know...
See, look, he's almost dead already.
I should have sprinted that.
Yeah, if you actually had run underneath the overhang, or if one of your party members had gone on there accidentally, by the time your tank would have gotten up here, the goblin would have already been dead.
Now, unfortunately, for the next boss, we don't have sleep with any of the jobs that we have, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult for us, but I'll explain both versions of the strategy before we go in.
Yay, happy goblin.
Meh.
Okay, so this next boss fight starts off, as you can see here, there's an Inferno Drake. It's a normal straight up tank fight until about halfway through. Then behind us, coming from where we're standing right now, Brayflox himself will come here, being chased by a Tempest Bias. Normally, what you would do is if you have a white mage or a black mage or conjurer / thaumaturge, somebody would cast sleep on the Inferno Drake, and everyone would have to beat up the Tempest Bias. Now, unfortunately, we don't have sleep, so Izzy's going to have to keep tanking both while we take down the Bias as fast as we can.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, there are certain goblins who have unnaturally high hate generation. This is one of them. Yeah. It's actually very difficult to keep the critter from actually smacking on the goblin instead of the tank.
What he's going to do is he's going to drop a bomb. When he drops the bomb, he will take hate off of you. I haven't found any way to prevent it yet. And then he's going to start kiting the thing. And so then you get the fun job.
He says he's bringing you a gift, and he'll run to a random party member dragging the Drake behind him.
I think it's a hate reset, actually. Because I've never actually managed to hold it off. And, yeah, it's just fun. So, are we ready to go?
Ready, steady, go.
Now, I will try to position myself so that way you can see. And there he is.
At which point you start killing the BS as quickly as possible. Particularly since this is the goblin you're supposed to be saving.
Yeah, if he dies, you fail. I don't like that angle there. That's better. Defensive abilities.
So yeah, unlike some dungeons where the tank has a fairly simple task of keeping hate on whatever the boss is, in this particular one, the tank has to really keep a hate on more than one critter at the same time while the healer tries to keep them alive.
There we go. That's
alright.
He's done. I miss the farty balloon noise that drakes used to make when they died.
Well, maybe they'll put it back in for you if you put a request on the forums.
That or just create a special
you just grab hate. So then I provoke, and it's not coming off then.
Yeah. Ow. And I was dumb and was standing in the middle of that AoE.
Sorry.
And yes, his name is Brayflox All Talks. As you could probably guess, there is a reason for his name.
Coming.
Well, to be fair, he was part of the company of heroes, so he can't be all talk, because otherwise he wouldn't have been part of that group.
Yeah.
It's not really a spoiler, because if you're at this point, you already know all the stuff, but, just as a reference, the company of heroes was the group that, 5 years ago, when the adventurers were dealing with stuff like Ifrit and Garuda and stuff, that they were the group that took down Titan. And they were the ones who figured out how to reach Titan and how to kill him and stuff. And Brayflox was a member of the group, so he was actually an adventurer, which is kind of cool, because, gotta be an adventurer.
He keeps bringing it to me.
Oh.
He must like you, Mia.
No! Bad guy, no biscuits.
That Bard AF.
We're not going there.
Alright, now you don't have to worry about any of the goblins from this point on. There is no more goblins that show up for you to try to find chests from.
Actually, there are.
Does anyone mind if I need on those?
Go for it. I already have them anyway, so. Yeah, there is actually two more goblins we can get stuff from on the way through. Mainly, and also, it's the easiest way to get to them is just pretty much to hug the left wall, which also avoids most of the fights coming through as well.
Yeah. Love gobby descriptive names. Mudsop Water Gush. Okay.
I just love how.
As you can see here, there's a whole bunch of mobs that way. You can go through all of them if you really want, but there's nothing on that side. So, the best way to handle this is to go this way, because this is where the chests are, as well as the minimal amount of mobs.
We're still going to have to fight a few, though.
Oh, yeah. At least here you can actually choose your fights, usually.
I might be able
Yeah, we should be able to sneak past that.
Yay!
It doesn't always work, but sometimes you have to fight that Eft and Pugil. But if you're looking for XP to do while doing the dungeons, this is a good source.
Yeah, you have plenty of time that you can go through and basically murder everything if you absolutely want to. But you don't have to. And you do get a bonus for swift completion for those who are going through the first time, so...
By the way, yes, I was mistaken that there are more gobbies to save, but there are still treasure coffers to pick up, so...
Down it goes. More tin pieces! Yay, tin pieces!
Okay, now the next chest is, once again, hug the left wall. And you'll notice there is some colibri in the way. These ones, you don't have a choice. They pretty much camp right in front of the chest entrance, so you do have to take these ones down.
Just be careful not to get linked from that swamp hugel.
Alright, let's take care of these ones over here now.
Ow.
Mr. Galago, please stop hurting my friends.
Spank the naughty monkey.
Now, naturally, since these are just tin pieces, you can feel free to skip these chests. You really don't want them, but they're along the path of least resistance anyway, so you might as well grab them. Okay, so as far down this way as you can.
This is a really beautiful zone.
Oh, it is. I mean, they put a lot of work into a lot of these zones, and
Yeah, coming up is going to be a pull that you really can't avoid.
yeah. You are going to have to fight the Wormhound.
The Surf Eft, and likely the Pugil.
Yeah.
You just don't want to add too many extra ones in the mix from the patrols.
Yeah. I recommend taking out the Wormhound first, just because he has Petrify, and that can be
Here comes
nasty.
the Pugil.
Oh.
The patrols tend to have fairly irregular routes, so you have to be very careful when they even appear to be nearby.
Out that way, okay. This guy's back. Oop. Another annoying thing about fighting him in the water is that it's hard to see the AoE cones.
And P-Stays tend to have some really nasty ones.
And I can't hear them.
Oh, hey guys, over here, over here. Thank you.
Not on the Scholar.
No, I'm gonna eat that. Didn't even see it.
Now, speaking of eating that, the next boss fight is going to be rather different.
Yeah, we'll explain the basics of the fight in just a moment here. Suffice it to say, there is a unique surprise partway through the fight, about the last 20%, but I think we'll leave that one open to when it actually happens.
We'll just say Omnom.
Okay. We are fighting an FTR who will spit mud bombs at people, as well as he will occasionally put bubbles around someone. If there is a bubble around a person, they take a slow damage over time, they can't move, and their damage is reduced. Bubbles have to be broken by the DD as fast as possible, because those are usually a very, very, very bad thing.
Yeah, that's an important mechanic to remember, because it shows up in other boss fights, most notably Titan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, in this case, as well as a Titan fight, the person who is encased by the bubble can't break their own bubble.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that goes for summoners too. Even if you try, you cannot command your pet to attack the bubble.
Okay, so everyone ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the last 20% we'll explain what the surprise is. It's pretty much a straightforward fight until then.
Just with the usual F annoyingness. Like that.
Yeah. There's nothing you can really do about that
this.
as a tank. Bosses will always randomly target someone and honk beams at them.
Like Karn?
I haven't done Karn yet.
Karn's fine.
I've heard bad things about Karn.
No? Shall we go into Karn later on? Off camera?
Maybe off camera.
The words we have for Karn aren't exactly PG sometimes.
Oh, hey, we could always do Aurum Vale. You'd like that, wouldn't you know? You can main heal.
I'm not main healing Aurum Vale.
Oh,
I am not
Sure
main
you
healing
can.
that.
I
Scholar
hate that
even.
zone.
There are certain jobs that are not suited for certain dungeons, and Aurum Vale and Scholar do not get along.
Oh, yes.
As you can see, I am now in a bubble.
I'm working on the bubble.
And he is now out of my range.
There you go. Debubbled.
I'm bubbled.
Debubble is gone.
Ow.
Alright. We're coming up onto the part of the fight that we were talking around
Bubbled.
about.
Yep, it's almost time for the surprise.
Ew.
Ow, 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 ow.
I'm bubbled now.
Surprise!
Nom nom. I have been debubbled.
Come on.
Like mechanics.
Oh, yeah, and
by the way,
this
ladies-
guy
Yeah,
likes
so
poison.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main boss of the fight. Of the zone.
So 20% left on that last boss. As you can see, Alatar likes to make a sudden appearance, or is it Ayatar?
Ayatar.
He's annoying, that's what he says.
And then you take him down about 20% and he takes off. And then you don't have to ever encounter him ever again.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Oh.
I already have those, so I'm passing.
Wow, 2 for 2.
Though if the body drops, we're gonna have a bit of a contest there. That's the only part I was missing.
Body drops, we're going to have a confrontation.
Duel to the death.
Once again, no goblins to worry about in this area. There is one more chest that you have to get. Well, you don't have to get, obviously, but there is one more chest to get. In that chest is actually a ring, and the ring depends on what job randomly is selected. So you could have a Marauder ring, you could have a Gladiator ring.
Lots of Lancer rings.
Yeah, you can have a Lancer ring, a Lancer ring, a Lancer ring, a Lancer ring, or a Lancer ring.
It's true. For the first while we were practicing this dungeon, that's the only ring we saw.
There was no one in the group who was a Lancer. Well, I think it's Nell. I blame Nell for that. I think she has an effect that causes Lancer drops. Because if you remember, when you were grinding Ifrit,
Yes, we all know about the horrible, horrible story of me getting 6 lances in one go.
this was back in 1.0, of course.
I never had that fun, so.
Yeah, in 1.0 we decided to do Ifrit one day and spam it to try to get some extra drops for some of the other members in our group. And one of the members in our group really, really wanted the Ifrit lance. Back in 1.0, you couldn't trade them or you couldn't lot on them. It was basically whatever the chest opened up, you got that item, and nobody else got that item. And it got to the point where we decided to do a bunch of runs, and it was basically, for me, it went Ifrit lance, Ifrit lance, Ifrit lance, nothing, Ifrit lance, nothing, Ifrit lance.
The funny thing is that
The one person who wanted the Ifrit lance never got it until 2.0.
Nell actually collected all these weapons. She used retainer juggling and stuff to actually manage to receive all of these lances. Retainer and Bazaar juggling, and it was
in 1.0 you could have bazaars set up for you asking for repairs for gear that you couldn't sell, and it counted as not being in the inventory. So what I ended up doing is I had both of my retainers with one Ifrit lance up for repair and one in their inventory, and then one in my bazaar for repair and one in my inventory. It got pretty redonk after a while.
This was before you could turn Ifrit lances into... For a brief period in 1.0 you could turn Ifrit lances into materia. But this was before that, so I don't know why she went to all the trouble. I guess just the whole thing of don't want to see a perfectly good weapon drop and go to waste.
Yeah, and then once we were able to turn them in for company seals, it was just like, free inventory!
Yep, and then the wisdom of it was born out.
Now, it may look like there's something over here from the map, but nope, nothing.
Nothing.
So, there's no real reason to go over to this side.
Come on, boys. Turn around. Wonder when you're gonna get a mini Ashdrake pet.
Now, over this direction is the boss, and the last coffer actually is down this way.
No. Kill him first. Okay, let's do it. Nope, 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 nope.
I still remember when you first start the Company of Hero quest line, and you meet the guy who says that they killed Titus instead of
Titus.
Titan.
I kill that bastard Titus. Like, why do you got against him? I like his show.
Maybe it's because he had that annoying laugh. Ha ha
Maybe-
ha ha.
Maybe he didn't like Blitzball.
Okay.
Both of those are valid reasons. Alright, as you can see, we have a cat camping the coffer because cats like boxes.
Yes, they do.
Oh, do they?
Now, I just was dumb and I ate that.
Nom nom nom. AoEs are candy.
This is what happens when you're used to being a ranged DPS.
Yes, indeed.
And I can't hear it.
It's already gone.
It's not for lack of trying, mind you. I did hit the button.
Yeah, anyone who's played Final Fantasy XI will realize that in this game, status effects are far more significant. I mean, they weren't insignificant in Final Fantasy XI, but dots and status effects were not nearly as important as they are in this game.
That's a first. Normally there's a ring in there.
Yeah. That's weird.
Oh yeah, speaking of status effects being nasty, anybody who's yet to run into a Final Fantasy XIV Moorball should count their blessings. Bad breath in this game will kill.
Ugh.
What? You don't like the Helistropers?
I'm not talking about house. I'm talking about Stropers in general. Mobiles in general. Five ticks of their poison and you're dead.
Yep. So there is and
right.
for extra fun, there is a couple of fates up in East Shroud, up in the level 47 area, where it's basically a fate that of nothing but Morbles. That was
Speaking
fun.
of
You're
Marlboros
just
and
running around like
their delicious breath, welcome to the boss fight in this area. This is where we're going to fight Ayatar again, and what he's going to do is he's going to have two really specifically nasty moves. He has one where it's his poison breath, where the tank wants to dodge this, because it'll do a lot of damage and give a really severe poison. And since we don't have a healer that can remove status effects, this is a must to avoid. The other one is the fact that he will throw spit on the ground, giant green balls of spit, which are incredibly poisonous, but they also have an added effect of while he is standing in them, he will recover health. So your tank needs to pull the dragon away from those.
It's another mechanic that this is the first time it's introduced. It will show up again later in future boss fights, so it's a good idea to learn it now because you will need to know this. This is going to be on the test. Okay, so we ready to go?
Indeedly do.
Here he comes. I'm sure he's a friendly dragon, right? Yeah.
Puff the Magic Dragon.
I've never done this on a melee class before, so this will be interesting.
We're going to lose our players list.
Fun! Wow! Okay, come here, you.
And by the way, those spit globs he pops out tend to be somewhat random. Usually targeted at basically, not necessarily targeted at whoever has hate.
Indeed. So you're, if you are a ranged character, try to stand against a wall to minimize the amount of space that slime ball will take up.
Yeah, sometimes he'll gob it at the tank's feet, and other times he will gob it at the. He'll pick a random person, gob it, and sometimes he'll just spit it off, and who knows where. And the danger is that if you're really unlucky with it, you can end up getting cornered very quickly. At which point the fight is not going to go well.
One tactic they can use, particularly for those times when he's throwing it at the random DDs or healers, is to actually try to have him cluster them off to the side. That way, all the globs are in relatively one location, and they will evaporate, but it takes a while. Oh. Usually by that time he's knocked out his third or fourth one, the first one's usually disappeared by then. And that's why you do not want to get hit by it.
Yeah.
Speaking of glob, there's one right there.
Thought I was out of it, but apparently I wasn't.
Yeah. As you can tell, it can go very bad very quickly depending where he sticks those things.
Oh.
As you can see, there he's now recovering.
Yeah, so I got full notes. This is a rough fight on the healer because it's possible for the tank's health to go down very fast.
Particularly when the healer's running around trying to get out of the
yeah.
spitballs.
Speaking
of which, remind.
Alright, we have a level 2 limit break, but I'm not going to use it just yet.
I'm actually going to go ahead and try to stand over here in the middle between these two over here. In case it decides not to lob another one at me. That way it's not completely surrounding the entire room.
More gobs.
I rest my case. And the first one, as you know, the first one still hasn't evaporated yet. Like I said, they take a while, depending on how rapidly pops those things out.
Ow.
Well, we got one of them dissolved.
Yep. Ironically, I think it was like the third one that was released that he just dissolved. Okay, this can get very bad very quickly now. Okay, another one's disappeared.
As a note, tanks do not rely on shield swipe and pacification to interrupt abilities like that. It will occasionally work, but in some cases it won't, and some abilities are not interruptible.
Alright. I'm going to pop it off in just 2 seconds here.
As you know, like I said, as you noticed, I've been trying to keep them relatively clustered away from the tank. And welcome. We've now finished Brayflox's Longstop. Thank you. Take your cheese, and may you eat it in good health.
We highly suggest when you get the cheese, check the key item description.
And then check your own lunch afterwards.
Alright, let's take a look at what we got. Battle Mage Robe. I already have one, so I will pass.
You want it, Cade?
I love that for my scholar.
I do not have it.
I'm not gonna get it.
Right, I'll pass.
Alright, let me just get in position here.
See, and you showed up to help.
Alright, everybody. That was Brayflox Longstop. As always, you can leave any positive or negative comments in the box below. like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on Twitter at NelsCelestine. And if you have any questions, comments, or if you'd like to be a guest on both Dungeon Raid or Good Morning Eurasia, you can send me a YouTube private message or use the official Lodestone topic. As always, this is Nell Celestine and my crew for the day.
Is he terrified?
Okay.
Bidding you adieu.